Hi Cancers, welcome to your January 2018 readings. These are your monthly readings. Hopefully everybody's doing well. So I'm going to cover homework and relationships come in all forms. So keep that in mind. We got different scenery here. I'm out of town, so it's just been madness, people. I'm not even going to lie. It's been madness. I'm making it work, though. Making it work. Actually, I've had a few Cancers that have come into my life recently. And I've brought it up before. I think Cancers are hilarious. And it's a good thing I've had some Cancers show up because Sagittarius could really use some humor right now. So there we go. Okay, so for the first card we have the Four of Cups. Hopefully all the cards fit here. I might have to move it around. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Devil card. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Wands. And we have the Lovers card. Ooh. Bow, wow, chicka, chicka, bow. Alright, you guys, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so the majority of things look pretty good, except work. I'm not going to lie. Your work seems to be the problematic area, possibly, for January. So let's see. Well, it seems at work, okay, like the energy you're going to be given is you're going to be given like it's like the apprentice energy. So it's like the studying, learning. That's what you need to focus on. That's basically what the cards are saying. The universe, powers that be, whatever you believe in. They're saying that you need to focus on like the self, slow movement, slow pace. Don't rush into anything. Don't get involved into any arguments. I feel like some arguments are going to occur. And it seems that there's some people at your job that are in two minds about things. They're dissatisfied. So there might be a little bit of drama that's brought up and you could be in the center of it. So you just want to be aware of what you're seeing and hearing. And you definitely want to stay focused on self here. For some of you, there can be like there can be a lot of overtime given, but for some reason it seems to be problematic. I'm not sure what that is. You also have to be concerned about like your passions and desires not getting ahead of you. You want to be very balanced, and you want to be a realist about things too. Okay, it's talking about boundaries here. So establishing boundaries at work and standing your ground as well. So it's like not being involved in situations you don't want to get dragged into, like stand your ground. Like, I do feel like there's arguments of some sort. I'm not really sure what it is. And the arguments seem to be due to like seems like some people feel they're being pushed too hard. There's maybe some mental manipulation, so you want to ensure that you're really listening to what you're being told, all right? And then like lining that up with what you see. And you don't want to get dragged into it though. You may have to like really prove yourself, as in like working really hard. Like, so that means like avoid the drama and just continue doing you, like just continue working, that your bosses will see that. But you definitely want to establish boundaries and not get dragged into any, some people's passions and like emotions are going to be really off balance. And so trust your intuition. Answers you're going to know by your feeling, your gut feeling. what we have coming in your relationships, and relationships are in all forms. So that's like with coworkers, friends, family members, acquaintances, you know, your sister, brother, parents, best friends. So keep that in mind. Okay, like it seems you're dissatisfied about some things right now. It could even be from a message that you've heard from a distance. All right. And in some cases, I'm like feeling like if there's any issues that you have in like romantic relationships, it would be due to communication. It is coming up. It could also be due to like your partner being a workaholic. Uh, but for some of you, you may not. In that situation, what it's saying is that your spouse is trying to get you both out of like some sort of like bind that you're in, and they're really focused and driven on making like decisions towards your future. They're trying to ground things and be very practical about things. They're making decisions, tough decisions, is what it's saying. They might not be discussing it with you. They might be keeping it to themselves. You may be taking things personally. That is coming through here. If you're interested in somebody, they're pretty action oriented, gung ho right now. They're like pretty self focused too. So there's a sense here of Cancers in your relationships. Okay, for some of you, you even may have some people that are looking for outside validation. Or if it's you looking for outside validation, you don't want to do that. Like, okay, like trust your feelings. Like, I feel like your feelings are really going to ground you. It's like that's your internal compass. There may be communication, like I am getting communication about dissatisfaction, and like I feel like it's going to come through work. Some of you may want to go back to school and do studies and stuff like that. That's excellent for you to do if you want to do that. I'm also seeing like improv, like in Living Colors and Mad TV. I'm not sure why. Maybe like I don't know if some of you are actors. I think statistically speaking, the most successful people that have made it from television to acting have come from improv shows. Like, you know, Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, they all came from improv shows. There's a few other, you know, I can't think of their names off the bat. You know, like the Wayne brothers, they came from improv. I mean, generally speaking, people who did soap operas, they had a hard time getting into movies. I don't know why that's coming through, but yeah. I'm pretty sure you gotta look that up. That's not a legit fact. It's just in my mind right now. I'm pretty sure. I'll look it up. For some of you, you may be like trying to make a decision about a new job or some sort of new avenue of studying that you want to do. You really have to focus on that. Okay, if you're having issues at work, it would be due passions and desires getting out of hand. All right, like there's some sort of, you may have to learn the lesson this month of creating healthy boundaries, and that's not only with the exterior, that's in the interior, that's like with the self. All right, like through our lives, we're trying to learn how to master our own energies. It's not about mastering others, it's about mastering the self. All right, like she's the Queen of Pentacles, she's earthly, she's pretty self-focused. I mean, the negative can be quite selfish, but they're pretty giving. It's in the upright, so it's like you got to get grounded and practical and make down. You may have to make some hard decisions this month. All right, like I would say, like gather your information in the beginning of the month, and towards the end of the month is when you're going to have to establish those boundaries and make the decisions. The universe isn't going to make it for you, right? But there is a sense here of taming the inner beast. It's like with the devil here, Okay, it can be like money oriented. Somebody's too money focused, you know, like, and they're not realizing that harm's being done. So like you really want to slow down, right? Like with the Knight of Pentacles, this is the Apprentice card. This is a slow moving knight, but this is like a friend who comes in to help you, right? They're giving you guidance. They have experience behind them. They observe other people's experiences as well. That this is what makes them pretty meticulous in their steps. Where so it's like some sort of enlightenment's been given to you. Like, so if something happens at work, you may have to tame that inner beast. It could be like a test being given to you, you know, like just ensure like at some point your passions and emotions are going to get off balance. At that point, you want to ask yourself why, like why they got out of balance before you like react. There's a sense here of establishing boundaries before reaction. And then there's also a sense of like you have to like in some manner, in some area in your life, you have to create boundaries and take that step. In relationships, you know, like you could have some situations that occur around you. They may be people that are very dissatisfied, so you want to ensure that you don't have like vampires around you. You do have a friend around you. You could be like I'm seeing like offers of overtime or like new creative projects even. But there also may be I don't feel like it's a big thing that's going to come towards you that will make you dissatisfied. Like I feel like it's going to redirect you, and you need to use whatever happens not to internalize it. Cancer, don't internalize it. Because cancers can internalize things for too long. You want to like you want to use it to drive you forward, all right, not to hold you back. That is okay. So you want to, there's this importance here of like communication, like like it being too quick and too harsh. Okay, like I've said this before in Cancer's video, cancers can be pretty blunt when you get them to that point where they're upset, and it's quite sharp. I've been on the receiving end of that more than a few times. I've had a lot of cancers in my life where so it's saying like you got to step back and understand your emotions before you communicate. And don't get involved in any like nonsense here. Somebody may be trying to like involve you in something that's not for your highest and greatest good. You do need to focus on your job. Like it is saying like you need to be focused on your goals and your ambitions, where you want to go, the direction you want to go. You're going to have to make that decision. If you don't make the decision on your own, it kind of seems like the universe is going to like quickly come in and put something into place where it's going to like either open your eyes, or you'll have somebody that will open your eyes, enlighten you on some sort of negative behavior or some sort of negative situation. So it could be like you may have one coworker around you that does give you legitimate information for your highest and greatest good. You got to consider the fact that what people are saying, if it benefits them or not, right? It may be time for you to look for a new job. But what you're doing, you have to do for the self and no other reason than that. You also have to like break some sort of boundary that you have with yourself. Like, and it might be slow. Like there's some boundary that you've placed upon yourself that you have to overcome. So it could mean a multitude of things, really. It's like you don't think you're good enough for another job, or it's like you feel like if you go back to school, it's going to take too long. Well, that's okay because it's talking about experience here, right? Like short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. There is education here. We got coming in at home. Well, home looks like pretty good. Those of you involved, I feel like they're, if there's things happening at home, it could be because there's a lot of commotion, and what could benefit you is like just being materially present, which would mean like cooking dinners too for your partner that may have some sort of sentimental attachment, like a favorite dinner or something if they're emotionally down. You could have like friends get-togethers, that type of thing. I'm also seeing like, I don't know if it's like some sort of sport that you're playing with buddies. I don't know. Maybe somebody's like going to go to paintball, or girls getting together for a movie night, or just to hang around in the house, or some sort of like, I feel like it'll be family. So it could be like your sisters, even your parents, somebody you have roots with, a best friend, that type of thing. Aunts, could be uncles. Your health, though, you want to watch that. So you don't want to overindulge too much. You want to watch what you're eating too. Like if you're having headaches and stuff like that, it could be from too much sugar or caffeine. So you might want to substitute like sugar with honey and stuff like that. If you're getting headaches, it could be because you're going through withdrawal from too much sugar. But there is some sort of importance on your health here, a health regimen. You want to watch that. You could injure yourself too if you're working too hard or moving too quickly. So like watch your movements, like when you're lifting things like that, you want to watch your back and stuff like that. Or even when you're climbing ladders or like a stepping stool. Let's see what else we got. I feel like there'll be some sort of celebration within the family. You could have some sort of family member. It is like an aunt, somebody. They can help you make decisions if you talk about things with them. Could be a friend. You do have one person around you that's a friend. You'll notice them because they're pretty grounded and practical. They're a realist. So it's like it's almost like they're not going to tell you what you want to hear. They're could be a Capricorn. It might be a Capricorn. God damn. Capricorns tend to they burst your bubble pretty good. They'll pop it pretty good for you. But it's like it'll be what you need to hear. My father's a Capricorn. He does it like daily. Oh man. But on the opposite spectrum of that, I'm pretty sure because I'm a Sag, I'm pretty optimistic. That annoys the crap out of him that I have like an optimistic view for every realistic view he gives me. I can be a realist too. I got Virgo and Taurus in my chart, but when you're around some people, specific energies come out, and my Sag comes out more with my dad for some reason. And my sister, it's my Aquarius energy that tends to come out with her because she's a Leo sun. Okay, so what it's saying in your relationships, what not to do is be concerned about finances. Somebody may think that they're like not financially good enough for somebody. So it's saying here what you need to be concerned about is not the exterior, it's the interior. So it's like, if somebody's materialistically after you, or if that's what you think a person wants, it's not going to go well. You want to find a person who wants you for directly who you are. It's the internal, like your interior, not the exterior, right? Like it's saying don't worry about your finances. You may feel like You may see somebody working really hard and like you want to get to that point, and it's like you're going to get there. You just need to be very slow and methodical about it because perhaps this other person is too quick, and they're too like their emotions are off balance here. They need to establish boundaries with themselves. Like you guys need to the basic. Uh, you need you definitely want to watch your emotions, Cancer. Like you have some jealous people at work. Uh, they're emotionally off balance. Okay, so if you have a wish for another job or something like that, like whatever your concern is at work, if you're looking for a yes or no answer at work, the answer is yes. It's directly coming through here. Like at home, you don't need to worry about the finances. What you need to worry about at home is is being more practical and grounded. So this means like budget cuts. Okay, if you're concerned about finances, well then there's things you can do at home. Okay, so it's like if you're making a pot of spaghetti and you have leftover sauce and you always throw it out, well instead you can just grab like a Ziploc bag, a freezer bag, put the sauce in the bag and then freeze it, and you have another meal. So you're not, you're saving money on food because that's one of the most uh, expensive, like a big cost. Like you may want to start portioning out your food too. You definitely want to look into eating more. I'm getting like iron and B12 for the females. Even for the men, I'm getting iron as well for you. It's like broccoli, spinach is coming through. I don't normally get food items. Uh, Definitely watch your emotions and the emotions of others, like the intentions of others. Focus on yourself and making the decisions. If you have to make a pros and cons list, Cancer, you may have to. Like, you definitely may have to rate things out. If you are concerned in a relationship, I feel like if you communicate, things will be cleared up. Okay, and it may make you dissatisfied to like communicate, but you have to. Like, it's pretty positive. It just seems to be warnings, and it's like foresight here. Okay, well, you got the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Hangman. All right. So the Queen of Swords is somebody who cuts through, and I feel like, okay, it could be a friend or somebody. Maybe the friend you meet is a Queen of Swords. She cuts through, like she's gonna help you somehow cut through this this worry and anxiety. You don't have to worry about things. You have to see things from a different perspective. Okay, like this is a woman who she has excellent foresight. Like, she puts two and two together real fast. Like, you can't get much past her. She's got the sword of truth in her hand, right? Like she may have that 10th sword, right? Like, but she wants you to like somehow she'll help you see things through a different perspective, right? But also with this woman, she's usually in uniform. It doesn't have to be like a lawyer. They make great business women because they have the mental capacity for it. They're highly intelligent. I would suppose that this one has like Aquarius in her chart because it is with the Hangman, which is a different perspective. And Aquarius, they they have Saturn in their chart, but it's in a different perspective. They use it. They are usually the ones that they don't break rules because they know the rules with Saturn, but they can get around them and they know how to bend them because it's unexpected, right? Like. So she may be giving you guidance to like step back and see things from a different perspective because you may have some like wolf in sheep's clothing around you, or somebody who it could even be like a warning of somebody's emotionally closed off and they're projecting their inner fears towards you, right? Like, or you could be holding back quite a bit. I am getting that this woman will give you the truth. However, she can't give it to you unless she knows if you like. I feel like in some sense, you know this woman and you're withholding things from her. All right, like this could mean that also Cancers, okay, what I'm getting with this is you need to develop a plan and keep that plan to yourself, okay? And like, because you could have some people that really want to like stick it to you, but you want to ensure that you're not emotionally closed off if you're trying to get involved with somebody else. Like the past isn't going to replay itself. It is saying that, right? Like, and you want to use your logic, okay? And you want to try to be a realist, Cancer, to see through things. All right, you guys, hopefully that helped you out. Namaste, and I will talk to you next month. Ciao for now.